If I miss this shot, they're going to kill me because I didn't just violate the rule of the basketball court. I offended the entire race that day, man.
What's up, fire-breathing dragons? Welcome back to another episode of the Untitled Impact Show, and you are in for a treat today. Matter of fact, I want to talk about the power of a live event because just a couple weeks ago, I had 100, count them, 100 fire-breathing dragons into Coronado, California, just south of a bunch of Navy SEALs. And these fire-breathing dragons are coaches, fit pros from around the globe. And we had our 13th annual Untitled Mastermind retreat. And it was perhaps the most memorable one yet. I had two guest speakers who absolutely brought incredible value in Damon West and Joe De Sena. Damon West, if you have not listened to Monday's episode, number 56, go back and listen to that. Former college quarterback, sentenced to life in prison, now creating massive impact. Folks, I see all those comments coming in on that episode, so thank you. You can listen to that one after this one. And then Joe De Sena. You're going to hear a clip in today's episode from Joe De Sena. Yeah, that Joe De Sena. The Joe De Sena that founded Spartan, which now serves over 1 million participants per year. Yeah, 1 million, I said. And his vision is to create impact to over 100 million in his life. Joe shares 3 lessons he learned from a mob boss. 3 lessons learned from a mob boss in today's episode. And Damon's going to talk about what he learned on the basketball court in prison. I am just so intrigued about what Damon has been sharing from that life. Again, read The Change Agent on his life, and of course, the number one best-selling book that he co-authored with John Gordon called The Coffee Bean. You got to read those 2 books on that. But today's episode is going to give you a little bit of that. And you're going to have some nuggets from yours truly, because the theme of the retreat was, what's your Zihuatanejo? What's your Zihuatanejo? You're like, what the heck is Zihuatanejo? Well, yeah, you might be like, Zihuatanejo is in Mexico. But the theme of this retreat wasn't like we're going to Zihuatanejo, Mexico. It actually stems from Shawshank Redemption. You know the movie Shawshank Redemption? Yo, youngsters out there, you'll go back and listen to and watch Shawshank Redemption. But in that movie, Andy Dufresne and Red are breaking out of prison. You know, this whole prison and mob theme in today's episode with Damon and then Joe and the mob and then Shawshank Redemption. But Dufresne and Red are breaking out of prison. And he says, where are we digging to? And it took him 19 years to dig out of prison. He said, I'm going to Zihuatanejo. The purpose of Zihuatanejo for the retreat and for you today is Zihuatanejo is not a physical place. It's a mental state of mind. It's a place I want you to think about your vision and where you're going on that. What your Zihuatanejo is, your vision. So 100 fire-breathing dragon coaches and trainers, we spent 3 days going deep on purpose and mission and vision and strategic planning for where we're going to go and connecting on that in the Mastermind group. But today, for the next 20, 25 minutes or so, I want you to think about your state of mind. Your state of mind when you hear from De Sena about 3 lessons learned from a mob boss and what you're going to do to implement these lessons, and from West about not only how you play basketball, but on how to be a coffee bean and everywhere you go. So let's go out right now to the Lowe's Coronado, the beautiful Lowe's Coronado in gorgeous Coronado, California, and hear all about what your Zihuatanejo.
What's your Zihuatanejo? I thought about this theme of this retreat, about how it's going to shape up. And so Zihuatanejo for the theme isn't a place. It's not a place we're going to. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind. Zihuatanejo is a state of mind. Part of my Zihuatanejo is finding peace on the sidelines, knowing that this too soon shall pass. What are you doing now that's allowing that, man, like I am loving life when I'm doing this. Time is lost. I was sharing with the P10 yesterday. When I'm in this position at Fitness Quest 10 training my athletes, nothing else matters. I'm in my Zihuatanejo. I'm in my zone. When are you in your zone? When are you in your Zihuatanejo? Maybe there's times where you're in there now. Maybe you're not there now. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're imprisoned. Maybe you're like, man, I'm looking for that place and that dream keeps me alive. Maybe there's a big, big vision of what you have to do with your body work or with your stretch program or your business as it franchises. Whatever your Zihuatanejo is, it's going to give you that emotional state of mind that's going to bring about joy, peace, happiness, fulfillment, and ultimately harmony between your head, heart, and soul. Your hara, right? These are the things that allow me to have my Zihuatanejo. It could be a 3-hour car ride that Trina does to take her daughter to volleyball practice each way. That's 6 hours of driving twice a week. That's it. You might be like, wow, that's crazy. Maybe you find that's your Zihuatanejo because that's when you actually get to connect with your child or your spouse or whoever it may be because of that car ride. What's your Zihuatanejo? What is that? 1954, there's a guy named Roger Bannister. You know who he is? He broke the 4-minute mile. But there was a race called the Magic Mile. And he raced a guy named John Landy. And John Landy was winning the race. It's a mile race. Bannister, at that time, was the first one to break the mile mark. John Landy, 90 yards from the finish line, he's cranking, he's out in front, flying. But Landy makes a critical mistake. Landy turns and looks back. Can't see Bannister. Guess what happens? He's looking back, and Bannister passes him. He loses his stride because looking back messed him up. Bannister took off, saw it as a sign. Next thing you know, Bannister wins the race. There's a statue in Vancouver, Canada, of Landy looking back. Imagine being that guy. You're like, dude, I got a statue, and I'm looking back getting beat. Number one, you might be the guy behind right now. And someone else is going to look back, and you got to accelerate. You got to step on the gas pedal and go. Maybe this is the fuel to step on the gas pedal to go to your Zihuatanejo. And if you're toward the front of the line, then we got to be careful not to just reflect back, not to look back too much. You know, I like to look back and reflect every week on the W lags, wins, losses, aha moments, but not to the point when you got momentum and you're moving towards something special that you lose the race.
I didn't tell you this. I had started a swimming pool service business. When my parents got divorced, my neighbor was the head of the Banana organized crime family. He had the big house with the columns. The cars would show up all day long. And he saw my family was going through tough times. He had 4 daughters. He didn't have any boys. And he took me in at like 11 years old. And he said, why don't you clean my pool every week? I'll pay you $35. And he taught me a couple of key lessons you could apply to your gyms. Never expecting to get great business advice from a guy that killed people for a living, but he said to me, but this is great advice. He said, look, if you're going to come on Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, be here at 7:45, right? And it stuck with me the rest of my life. It sounds like a silly thing. Most people don't do it. 7:45. I was there every Saturday. He said, look, if you're going to clean the pool, I want you to also straighten up the furniture around, clean the tile. He had tile around his pool, and straighten up the shed. I'm not paying you for those things, but you got to go above and beyond, because then I'm going to recommend you to people. And so I did that, and it just became part of my mantra. And then the third one was never ask for money. Don't have your hand out. You will get paid if you do a good job. And those 3 things have literally transformed my life. I've been successful at businesses I've had because of those 3 things. And then there was a 4th thing he gave me, which he didn't mention, which, have you ever heard of this restaurant, Rayo's in New York? Yeah. When he went to jail later, a couple of years later, I was already on Wall Street, he gave me his table at Rayo's. That also helped. I could have probably started showing up at 8:15, but the table helped. I go back to Joe, his name was Joe, the organized crime boss, right? You've got to be incredibly, like, on time is late, right? You've got to go way above and beyond. Whatever your competition does, whatever this industry does, you've got to do 3 times as much for your customers. So if they don't know, I'm making this up. If they don't normally give nutrition advice, you got to give nutrition advice. If they don't check in once, you got to check in once a week. Whatever they do, there's a great story from Nordstrom's back in the late 80s where U.S. companies were getting killed by the Japanese. Japanese companies were just outmaneuvering U.S. And there were a couple of Tony Robbins back then, Tom Peters, Ken Blanchard, and they talk about Nordstrom's. And Nordstrom's had put into place a bunch of things to try to compete with the Japanese companies, and the fact that customer service sucked in the US, et cetera. And there's a story where a customer walks into Nordstrom's and returns tires. And they take the tires back and give the customer the money back. Well, Nordstrom's didn't even sell tires, right? So, but here we are, 30 years later, and I'm talking about it in this room. So whatever you got to do, you go way above and beyond. And look, I give everybody my email. Everybody gets my email. A little bizarre. When we hit 3 million followers on Facebook, I invited everybody to our farm. My wife flipped it. You invited 3 million people to our house. Nobody's gonna come. Don't worry about it, right? Some people came, but the point is, like, who?
How many? How many?
Just a couple 100,000. No, I'm kidding. It was a big dinner. But the point is, I just go above and beyond, and that's what you have to do. And then you've got to make sure you're scalable, because I talked to somebody this morning about Starbucks. My uncle back in the 80s had, maybe late 70s, had a cafe. He was selling coffees just like Starbucks. He was doing espressos, all that stuff way before Starbucks existed. But he got so focused on the one location and making everything right that he missed the boat, right? And Starbucks scaled and he didn't. So you just got to make sure you've got systems in place, you're focused on things that are scalable. Otherwise, you don't grow.
It's all about racing there. I skip all those sports that day. Remember, this is 6 weeks into it. I'm fighting all the black gangs at this point, and I head straight to their domain, the basketball court, where no white guys are allowed. And I've been watching these guys play for a couple weeks, man. And so a white guy can't get on their games, but I spotted a flaw in their system, and I'm going to exploit this thing. I'm going to try to. So after every game they play, they're going to shoot for team captains. You know what shoot for teams is? It means the first two guys to make a shot get to be the team captains. This is where they do it to keep people rotating in and out. So I'm watching this game, and I'm thinking, man, if I can get that ball in my hands after one of these games, I'm going to shoot for captains. So it's this crazy plan. So I'm watching this game play out, and it's a lopsided game. I know what side of the court the game's going to end on, so I get under that basket. And all these guys in the rec yard, I remember they were looking at me, man, like, what is that crazy white dude doing, man? He's not even supposed to be on the basketball court. And as soon as that last basket went to the basketball went to the last basket for the last point, I fell in the basketball like a fumble drill in football, man. And I got up, and the entire basketball court sucked up around. Just a sea of angry black faces. They are so mad at me at this point, y'all. They're like, man, give us our ball back, white boy. Man, don't you know we're going to hurt you for this? Man, what are you doing, man? Give us our ball. And, man, my voice squeaking and cracking. The toughest thing I could think to say was, man, y'all going to have to hurt me because I'm playing basketball today, man. I'm not letting this ball go. And they are incredulous at this point now, y'all. They're like, dude, we are going to kill you for this, man. Don't you know you crossed the line? We're going to kill you. We have to kill you now. They're spitting on me. They're screaming at me. Biggest dude out there, man. This Blood from Houston named Jay Blood, man. Jay Blood comes up and gets in my face, and he is angry, but I'm not letting that ball go. He's going to get a free shot and knock me out. He hits in my face. He says, you know what? He said, you know what, white boy? He said, get up on the line and shoot your shot, and I hope you make it. Just about that time, the basketball court parted, and that free throw line appeared. The free throw line looked like the equator. It was so big. Yeah. And I'm standing up at the line, and my knees are shaking, y'all, and here's the score. Here's what's up. If I miss this shot, they're going to kill me because I didn't just violate the rule of the basketball court. I offended the entire race that day, man, and they have to. I'm on an island, you know. I don't have anybody fight for me. I mean, all the white guys in the corner are watching this go on. They're like, man, kill him, you know. They want me dead. But if I make this shot, they're going to let me play, but they're going to hurt me, man. They want me to know I don't belong out there, but you know what? I'm one of the toughest opponents you can ever face. Someone with their back against the wall and feel like they have nothing left to lose. Be careful if you ever fight that guy. So I get up on the line, I breathe in and breathe out, say a little prayer, and let my shot go, nothing but net. Boom, I'm a captain. I step back, Jay Blood makes his shot, he steps back, we pick our teams. You know, I pick my 4 guys, he picks his 4. We got this nice little 5-on-5 game, right? Wrong. It's 9-on-1, man. These guys on my team, they don't want to be on my team. They hate me, man. And, man, this is prison basketball on a life sentence building. First of all, there's never a guard in that tower, so there's no guards out there. There's no referees, which means there's no fouls. Man, in prison basketball like that in the life sentence, you can punch, kick, scratch, bite, pull hair. That first day, man, I was taking off screaming down the court, running. Dude took my legs out from under me. I was flying on the concrete. I came out that first day, had a black eye and a busted lip, but I survived, man. And it wasn't anything like my fears thought it would be, man. It wasn't anything that bad. I survived. So I got up Tuesday morning, man. I looked in the mirror, and I liked the way that guy looked banged up, man. But I liked that guy a lot better than the guy the day before that was living in fear. I went out back to that rec yard again. If it is to be, it's up to me. And when I walked in that rec yard, man, these guys were laughing at me. A lot of guys, I mean, look at me, man. A lot of people laughed at me when I got to prison, you know. These guys are laughing like, hey, white boy, we thought you had enough yesterday. I said, hey, man, I thought you boys were playing basketball. What's up? Got quiet. Jay Blood said, man, nobody. He said, white boy, get on my team today, man. Come on over here right now. So, man, if I was looking to play some basketball, I got everything I was looking for. They picked me first every game after that. And I'm not first pick caliber guy. I'm like 8th or 9th pick, man. I'm not that great in basketball. But these guys picked me first because everybody wanted to get a piece of me, man. And they did, man. It was like being a piñata out there. And I gave it back where I could, man, because that was the whole idea, to earn some respect out there, man. They're throwing elbows, I'm throwing elbows. They're throwing punches, I'm throwing punches whenever I can. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's the most brutal games of basketball I've ever played. Saturday, man, I'm out there, and Saturday, on the weekends in the rec yard in prison, it's very crowded out there, very packed. Everybody wants to get out and get some sun. 432 people in my building, probably 400 of them in the rec yard. It's crowded out there. But it's not crowded where I am. I'm on the basketball court where I'm going every day. And I'm standing about half court. And I remember thinking, Damon, this is the dumbest thing you've ever done. You're going to have to play basketball for 65 years, man. This is never going to stop. And they don't even let me play offense, man. I'm standing at half court because my team is on offense. All I do is play. I haven't shot a basket since I shot that shot for teams on Monday. Yeah. And just about that time, somebody kicked the basketball to me. It comes dribbling up to me. Man, I grab that ball, I run up and shoot. Boom. I missed my shot, a brick. I was like, oh, man, I hope I get another shot. I was just too anxious, you know. And eventually they passed me the ball again, and I made my shot, and I heard it. Somebody said, good shot, West. West. Man, I got my name back, you know. I felt that, you know, because it's so derogatory to call someone by the color of their skin. And there's people in this room that know exactly what that feels like. But these guys stopped that after 6 days, man. They gave me my name back, and after that game was over, they circled up around me. They said, man, J-Boy did all the talking again. He said, totally different body language from everybody this time. They're all circled up around me. He said, man, J-Boy said, you pulled something off out here, West, we'd never seen a white guy pull off before. Because you took everything we could, and you gave it back when you could, and you never got racial with us. You never called us any names. He said, man, check this out. You don't have to worry about the blacks the rest of the time you're in prison, man. You're good with us. And that felt good. But the first thing that went through my head was Mr. Jackson and that coffee bean story. Because you can't take away from the story that, hey, this white guy's out there, he's scared because he's the only white guy. Yeah, we get that. But think about the other guys in that court, man, all the black guys, man. They've got 20 years of a bad belief system that tells them I don't belong out there, man. But in 6 days, everybody made a change. In 6 days, everybody became coffee beans. That's when I knew Jackson was working with something. And it was just in time, too, because there was one more fight I had to get into. It happened 2 weeks after that. You have to get the book The Change Agent to see that. It happened in the shower with a fan motor. This guy was coming to rape me, so I had to get the jump on him. He didn't get me, I got him. But after 8 weeks, man, after all the fighting is done, everybody left me alone because they saw that I could speak the only language that everybody speaks in prison, which is violence. And when you go to a maximum security penitentiary, you either become fluent in violence because someone's going to speak it to you and you'll be used to getting the violence, or you speak it to them. You throw the violence back. And what that does is breaks down a human being. When Mr. Jackson told me that coffee bean story, I asked him, I said, what do you find more of in prison? And he said, eggs. He said the egg is a natural evolution of a human being inside that environment. He said we are not made to withstand what you're about to go through.
Man, oh man, what an episode. Why do I have so much fun doing these podcasts? Man, is that some value or what? I mean, come on, folks. 3 lessons from a mob boss? Folks, be early. 15 minutes early and clean it up. Yeah, clean up the houses, clean up your offices, clean it up. And clean up your gym, trainers. And never ask for money. Whole point with De Sena sharing that is like, just deliver incredible value and the money will come. Deliver great value in all that you do. And if you deliver great value, then the money will appear. It'll be there. So great 3 lessons there. I enjoyed that. Nothing like the power of a live event. Nothing like the power of a live event. What live events do you have coming up in your near future, the next 6 months? What do you have coming up? What's on your schedule? Make sure you attend live events in your industry, right? Very, very important. And have a coach. If you're a trainer, coach, and you want to be coached by yours truly, then be part of my mastermind group, right? That was 100 great folks over in Coronado. We do that 3 times a year. So we have our annual retreat, we have our mountain retreat, and we have Idea World we get together as well. So if you are a trainer, fit pro, or coach, shameless plug for the Mastermind program. If you're stuck, stalled, frustrated, and you want more out of your business, out of your leadership, and your life, take action. Nothing like taking action. I would love the opportunity to help you in all areas of your life. I take great pride in the Mastermind coaching program. You can get all the information over on my website for that, toddurkinmastermind.com, toddurkinmastermind.com. And not only do you have access to me, but you have access to some of the greatest fit pros on the planet who are doing amazing things. So take action today, and I would love the opportunity to coach you on that. And then finally, keep the reviews coming. I mean, you talk about reviews. Some of you are really listening in to your reviews and sharing your reviews. As a matter of fact, you just shared, I saw, check this one out, just the other day on Damon West, episode number 56, just on Monday, shares this with the AP for Fit. Thank you very much. AP for Fit. Fantastic guest, Damon West. I like that. Fantastic guest, Damon West. Remarkable story. Damon West has fully embraced his purpose and is a blessing and inspiring others. I want to be a coffee bean. Yes, we need more coffee beans out there. Keep the reviews coming. They help us. Just go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, write a review, and I'm going to highlight you here on the TD Impact Show on upcoming episodes as well. So we really, really appreciate those reviews. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Go out there today and create massive impact in all that you do. Train hard, eat right, live inspired, create impact, and be a coffee bean.